Are you ready to make a meaningful gift for your loved ones? Let's complete this picture with us, using the super detailed tutorial below. Before stitching, snip off the rubber cap on the needle. That way the loops on the back stay even, and the yarn won't slip out while you punch. Now let's thread the yarn through the needle. Slide the wire threader through the round hole. Down the needle shaft to the tail. Feed the yarn through the wire loop, then pull back. Then the yarn will come out at the tip. Remove the threader and shorten the tail, leaving about 5 centimeters at the needle point. Next, let's hold the punch correctly. The needle has a beveled slit. Keep that bevel facing up and pointing the same direction you punch. For example, while punching upward, bevel faces up. While punching sideways, turn the bevel sideways too. For curves, rotate the needle to follow the line. If you ignore the bevel, the yarn twists and snags. So always watch the needle angle and keep the slit facing up. Every element in this design uses the flat stitch technique. Let's learn it. Before we start the real piece. For flat stitches, work on the front of the fabric. Punch the needle all the way down to the handle. Then tuck the tail to the back. Lift the needle just above the cloth, punch again about 4 threads away from the first punch. Keep punching full depth each time so the yarn stays anchored. If not, the yarn will be pulled out. While you work, feed yarn continuously, don't hold or pinch it. And keep objects off the yarn so it doesn't tighten or yank. For each shape, outline first, then spiral inward until it's filled. Stay closed so no fabric peeks through. The next rows should be staggered between the previous ones, so the overall stitching looks more balanced. To finish a flat stitch, there are 2 options for you. Option 1, punch the last hole. Hold the yarn tail, lift the needle, snip, and pull the end to the back. Option 2, punch the last hole, flip to the back, trim, then lift the needle. When lifting, go slowly so the yarn doesn't slip out. One of the most common mistakes is that the yarn won't stay in the fabric. First cause, if you don't punch full depth, the back loops are too short and slip. Remember to sink the needle to the grip to lock the yarn. Second cause, the yarn is tight while punching. Check for these. 1, forgot to feed more yarn. Make sure to keep feeding more yarn from the skein as you stitch. 2, your hand or tools pin the strand, just free it right away. 3, a knot blocks the needle, cut past the knot, ray thread, and continue. Another reason, misthreading. The yarn must travel from tail to tip through the hole. If not, ray thread correctly and you're good. Another flat stitch hiccup, raised loop sitting on top. The reason is that you lifted the needle too high. To solve this, lift the needle tip closely the cloth. If a loop sticks up, gently pull the yarn tight, just punch slowly until you're comfortable. Practice makes smooth punches. If there are thick, hard rows, it's because your stitches are too short. They pile up and eat yarn fast, which can leave you running out of yarn. Conversely, if there are too long stitches, it will look loose and rough. Aim for 3 to 4 fabric threads apart, or 2 threads for tiny details. If you punch wrongly, just pull the bad loops out. Scratch the fabric lightly to close holes, then ray punch. But reduce sparingly as too many corrections weaken the cloth and the yarn may not hold. Now we'll apply the flat punch needle technique that we showed earlier to embroider the artwork. Since the picture has many details, we'll embroider one detail at a time. We'll begin with the smaller inner details, then move on to the larger outer ones. First, we'll embroider the eyes and mouth of the frog. For small details like the eyes and mouth, you can reduce the punch to 2 or 3 strands of yarn to create smoother curves. Since we're using black yarn, we'll also embroider the leaf veins. Next, we'll embroider the rosy cheeks. Then move on to the frog's white belly. Make sure to stitch close together to avoid exposing the fabric. The stitches of the next row should be embroidered alternately with the stitches of the previous row to make the embroidery look more natural. Since we're using white yarn, we'll embroider the light highlights on the headphones and ripples on the water surface. After that, embroider the frog's body, using the technique of outlining first, then gradually filling inward in a spiral pattern. Continue with the yellow part of the headphones. Remember to keep pulling extra yarn. And avoid holding the yarn or placing anything on it, as it can stretch and cause stitches to unravel. After finishing the headphones, we'll embroider the light green leaf edges first. Then we move to the darker green leaves. Next, we'll embroider the stem of the reed using light green yarn. This detail is quite small, so be careful not to mix up the yarn colors. Continue with the reed plume using pale yellow yarn. After finishing the small details in the picture, we'll move on to embroider the blue water surface. Make sure to start with the edge near the frame. Insert the needle right along the edge, and make straight stitches for a more even look. For the sky background, we'll do it the same way as the water surface above. You can add some stars in the sky to make your picture more lively and fun. Finally, flip the picture over and trim any excess yarn neatly. And now we've finished our product, a super cute frog listening to music. Don't forget to message us if you have any trouble. We are excited to see your artwork too. Goodbye and see you again.